Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are moving closer to 2027 and campaigns have already started. There are rumors of alignments and realignments. Now, the 2027 presidential poll is going to prove to be one of the most competitive in the history of our country. Even the government side seems to be scared of what is waiting for them, because we've seen and heard the very closest allies of William Ruto saying that there is no way William Ruto will be a one-term president, because in the history of the country, there isn't any president who has done one term. This is also going to be a poll that is going to pit William Ruto against his former principal assistant, Rigathi Gachagua. And Rigathi, with this movement, has declared William Ruto one term. Kasongo must go. But apart from being competitive, the 2027 election could also turn out to be very chaotic, because we can see undertones. We've seen people who threaten that they will regroup. Now, worse still, we have seen President Ruto's closest allies say that if they are not going to have sufficient votes to catapult William Ruto to victory, then they will rig, and they have not minced their words. Now, should anything happen, should Kenya plunge into turmoil, political turmoil, then the president's team will be squarely and solely responsible. The other time, Rigathi Gachagua warned that if there's anyone who imagines that he or she will rig elections, then they should be prepared to look back at 2017, and that will look like a Christmas party. It didn't end there, because they've been calling for Rigathi's arrest because of such statements. They claim that Rigathi wants to ban this country. Now, many people are adding their voices, and they are telling the IEBC and warning the members who are very close to William Ruto, who have started threatening that they will rig elections, that it is not going to be business as usual. Ruto's former ally, I think it is former ally because today he's speaking a different language, Boni Khalwale, who is the majority chief whip in the Senate, is adding his voice and is telling William Ruto, if you're still thinking of rigging, then understand the consequences, because it is not easy as you think. Can you listen to Khalwale?
Ningependa kutumia nafasi hii kuwaambia wanasiasa wakiongozwa na Mheshimiwa Oscar Sudi na kamama kengine kamsichana kanatoka huko North Eastern na wengine wanasema kura ya 2027 kura isipojaa wataongeza. Wewe sikia kijimsichana ya North Eastern, kura yenu North Eastern sio hata kura ya nusu ya Ikolomani. You have no votes. Where votes are, don't talk. Shut up. We know what it means to rig an election. Is an experiment which is very, very dangerous. I therefore want to appeal to the commissioners of IBC, led by Ethukon, your new leader, na nyinyi ambao mko hapa, muhakikishe kwamba the election to be free and fair. Nothing is more important.
Kindly subscribe to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. Click the notification bell. Whenever we do a video like this, you will receive notifications. Please don't go without giving this video a like and share the video if you can. Thank you very much for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, it is very sad and very dangerous at the same time if leaders who are supposed to preach peace are the ones who are telling us that they are going to rig elections. You know, when we approach an election in a very volatile platform, I can assure you it is not going to be very palatable for us. But why exactly is Boniface Aluale speaking like this? Because Boniface Aluale has been consistent in the past few months. He has become Ruto's worst nemesis. He's the worst critic of Ruto's government. At the same time, he sits as the majority chief whip. The other time he was complaining that he's not included in the decision making table, and therefore he feels pushed to the periphery. Many people are saying that, oh, Aluale could be working for William Ruto because William Ruto will employ many tactics, one of them being divide and rule. The rich vote Western region seems to be moving away from the UDA and ODM. One of the reasons why William Ruto picked Raila was to seal the votes in Nyanza and Western. Western has been very faithful over the years to Raila Amolo Odinga. But this time round, they seem to have parted ways, and the Tawi movement is taking over. And I believe Ruto is even rethinking the decision to continue with Raila Amolo Odinga because the Luo nation is divided. The Western region is not as faithful to Raila as it has been before. So this alliance, the broad-based alliance, might not help Ruto so much. But why is Aluale consistent in criticizing William Ruto? It's not just today. And I know that Aluale is preparing to be an alternative voice in the Kakamega gubernatorial position. In the last election in 2022, Aluale was prevailed upon to let Malala contest on a UDA ticket, and Aluale regrets that decision. He believes he would have given Fernandez Baraza a run for his money. But truth be told, even Malala tried. Now Aluale is preparing to contest for the gubernatorial seat in Kakamega. And so he's doing everything to ensure that he aligns himself with the people. Now, when you want to align with the people, it means you say what they want, you do what they want. And this only tells you that the ground is not looking good for the UDA. Because Aluale is a UDA member of parliament. William Ruto is the president. It will be very easy for Khalwale to continue selling William Ruto in Western. But Khalwale has continued to criticize. It means that Khalwale has read the ground, and the ground is saying Tawi. That is why he is also being careful to ensure that he showcases his talent. He's telling the people, I'm not with William Ruto. And if the Western ground is not with William Ruto, what does it portend for him? Because William Ruto had calculated that after falling out with Mount Kenya, he would compensate with the sons and daughters of Mulembe to compensate for the rich votes in the mountain. So if the mountain is not with William Ruto, the Western is not with him, Luos are divided, how is he going to maneuver to victory in 2027? You've already seen people telling him, don't try to rig, and people are warning the IEBC. Already even the IEBC itself understands that this is the situation on the ground is not like it was over the years. This time round, Kalonzo has spoken about it, Gachagua has spoken about it, Khalwale is speaking about it. Now, even the closest allies, and as we move towards 2027, very many leaders will come out and speak about it. So Khalwale wants to entice the people of Mulembe, but he has no any other choice but to criticize Ruto because the ground is not with him. Khalwale is but an example of the many leaders who intend to exit UDA. We saw Jichopevu. There was another leader in Masai land. Very many people are tired of the UDA. but they are waiting for the right moment. Most people would not want to risk jumping the ship now because they are not sure of this IEBC. So they are waiting for the right moment. You understand what Waiguru did. She waited until the right moment, and I think she just told Uhuru Kenyatta, we've been close friends, but the ground is hostile. Jubilee can no longer sell, so allow me to go to the UDA because I have to look at which side is the bread buttered. So there are very many, it's an indication that UDA is going to suffer mass exodus from the party. I can assure you. Why will people move? Those who intend to contest for various positions from the MCA all the way to the presidency will not go with the UDA because UDA now is not the People's Party. The lies are gone, the promises are gone, people are much wiser, people have got information at the fingertips because of the social media. So when you listen to Khalwale criticizing William Ruto, you know very well that UDA is not an option. It's not making matters even better when the ODM is suffering the same fate. ODM, the way it's going, it's dwindling, and it will remain a Luo party. Because when you hear how the Luo parliamentarians are talking, they are not taking cognizance of the fact that Raila has been who he is, not only because of the Luo votes, but because of the massive support that Raila has received over the years across the board. Right now, they are telling if you try to criticize the broad-based government, they are daring you to exit. And I feel it is not very good. That's not how to reciprocate. Had the other tribes reject Raila and abandon him or leave him to play his politics with the people of Nyanza, or the Luo Nyanza alone, Raila wouldn't have been where he is. Raila went beyond tribal politics. He went beyond the Luo Nyanza. He was enjoying massive support in Western, in the coast, in Eastern, and all these areas, thanks to his continued critique to the government. Raila was trusted. He would call a press conference and everyone would be listening because he would expose massive corruptions and undercut deals. Right now, that legacy seems to be going down the drains because he's now dining with the oppressor. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Ruto allies are saying they're going to rig. Tension is building. William Ruto is staring at the reality of rebellion. Ruto must go is the song of the day. In sports arenas, nightclubs and joints where entertainment joins, the song is Ruto must go and one term. The Mount Kenya group is gone, even though I hear some rumor that they could, reconstruct their relationship, but that seems to be not going to be very easy. Raila is not helping either. So things are not very easy. But Khalwale is saying, don't imagine. And the IEBC is also watching. The 2027 elections are going to be one of the most difficult to manage because none other than the president's friends themselves have said it. We are going to rig. So this is going to add a lot of suspicion. And even as when people will jump to the streets and burning bonfires, whom will they blame? I have a feeling that this time round, some names will end up at the ICC, the International Criminal Court. What do you take of Khalwale's caution and warning? And do you think Khalwale is still faithful? Do you think the UDA has any business keeping him as the chief whip? No. He's gone, just like many of the Mount Kenya sides are gone. If there is going to be one of the biggest surprise, this surprise is going to fall on the face of Raila and Ruto because they still think it is business as usual. Kenyans have moved on. But I dare say that one day in politics is just too many days. It can change very many things. What do you think about Boniface Khalwale? And do you believe that the next election is going to be free and fair? And why do you think the government is afraid? People like Sudi say, tutajaza.